In the mid-19th century, a faithful community in Chamonix, in fear of a glacier descending into their village, sought the cosmic powers of their local bishop. He carried out an exorcism of the glacier, and so the community expelled whatever demons threatened to wipe out their village. The glacier receded, and for his services the bishop collected a large payment. And so today, on your way to a ski resort, you may pass over the glacier unobstructed. You may even go deep under the glacier, tunneling into northern Italy through the vast, empty spaces once the resting place of demonic forces. Since the bishop's cosmic intervention, the world's glaciers have been steadily retreating. Where are those demons now? Have they been successfully erased, or do they persist in different forms, within ourselves, or in the meltwater that cascades from their frozen origin? The human eye reacts to light and pressure to perceive objects and their movements in space. Household cleaners cause an estimated 125,000 eye injuries per year. A new bionic lens company claims to elevate vision beyond the level of appearances. Might we at last uncover the origin, the essential makeup of the universe? John Cleves Sims Jr., a man who couldn't extinguish his dreams that the Earth, hollow inhabitable, could be entered via the South Pole. Was it a proto-bionic lens which gave him this insight? Icelandic poet Jonas Hallgrímsson writes, "Facts on that far-off glacier are few and hard to obtain." Iceland was one of the last major unsettled landmasses. The Vikings arrived, and with no inhabitants to conquer, went on a spree of deforestation. It is estimated that the settlers' requirements for building material and fuel couldn't come close to the scale of deforestation that occurred. Perhaps their true purpose, in fact, was to unmask and expose every corner, to master their island. But generations passed, and so did the intoxication of ownership, fading to reveal a vast and unsettling expanse. In the Middle Ages, adventurers were conscious of demonic powers lurking within the ice. They felt weakened by this confrontation, intellectually, spiritually, physically. Some travellers took to blindfolding themselves to avert the glacier's gaze. But the glacier gazed on, even as times changed and we removed our blindfolds to drop to our knees in praise of God's work.
I mean, I just stand here and look out to nothing in particular. I guess it does challenge your ego in some way, just like a reminder of how insignificant you are. But in all honesty, the natural environment just isn't really a challenge. We've got cars, bridges, helicopters. You just don't get the sense that nature is an overwhelming force.
Yeah, but I'm not sure about the environment not being a challenge anymore. Isn't that just a useful illusion? We've just driven on a road that until 45 years ago was underneath this glacier. So of course we get the feeling that the natural environment is there for us to use, just a passive mechanical thing. But surely you can't sustain that kind of attitude when natural disasters are happening.
It's an impressive sight. I can imagine people writing poetry about it.
Do you write poetry?
Nah.
What do you think you'd write about if you did?
Like feeling exposed. Words maybe wouldn't cut it. I'd make music with the sounds of that river.
Do you think anything lives inside the glacier?
Like I know there's a bunch of microorganisms, but other forms of life. I'd like to believe in some kind of spiritual life. Maybe then we'd have a different attitude towards the environment, but I guess we're not conditioned that way.
At this point, another tourist interrupted and said something like, "It's that kind of thinking that got us here in the first place, and that we human beings are the virus." Others criticised as nihilism, others offered hope. Varying degrees of emotion were expressed, but mostly just words. The following week brought some unpredictable weather, and the tape which recorded that discussion was washed away by a swelling glacial river.